Hey there, Larry Richardson here, back with part 3 of my HOA Saga. And just like part 1, if it looks like I'm reading a script as I do this video, it's because I am. I want to be absolutely accurate in the information that I am saying. Now, if you want to know what's going on in the background of part 3, go look in this playlist on my video YouTube channel. Look for the playlist of HOA Saga, and you can watch the first two segments, the first two parts. Now here is part 3. This is the information I am going to provide to the appeals court should it be necessary. If they fail to recognize my innocence until proven guilty motion, then I will present this information to the appeals court. Point 1. From the South Carolina Constitution, we read in Article 1, Section 4, quote, "No bill of attainder, ex post facto law impairing the obligation of contracts, nor granting any title of nobility or hereditary emolument shall be passed, and no conviction shall work corruption of blood or forfeiture of estate." 2 points in this little part from the Constitution. No ex post facto laws can be passed, and no conviction can result in the forfeiture of estate. Now let's move on to point 2. Point 2 is the South Carolina legislature did pass a new law. For the first time, they had a specific law dedicated to the HOA situation, and they called this law the South Carolina Homeowners Association Act. They passed it last year in 2018. There is some language in the 2018 law which could possibly be construed to say that HOAs can make people be members. It was not passed until 2018. Any provisions of that Homeowners Association Act that the Ashford Subdivision Homeowners Association tries to apply to my case is absolutely unconstitutional, because it would amount to an ex post facto application under the law, which is not allowed. Okay, let's move on to point 3. Point 3 is, in this new law, should for some odd reason the appellate court decide they get to do an ex post facto situation, then let's look at the law itself that was passed last year. One of the provisions of that law that was passed last year is right here in section 27-30-170 of that law. It says this section is about the construction of the article, and it says, "No provision of this article may be construed to be in conflict with the provisions of the South Carolina Nonprofit Corporation Act." That's pretty clear, and that takes us to point number 4. Now, point number 4, that South Carolina Nonprofit Corporation Act that the 2018 law referred to, and says that nothing in the 2018 law could be construed to contradict the already in place South Carolina Nonprofit Corporation Act. Let's look at that. In Chapter 31, is titled the South Carolina Nonprofit Corporation Act. Article 1 is General Provisions, and then we have Section 33-31-101, and the short title is called "This Chapter May Be Cited as the South Carolina Nonprofit Corporation Act of 1994. Then we get to the meat of the matter. Article 6 is Members and Memberships. Subarticle A, Admission of Members. Section 33-31-601, Admission. Subparagraph A, the articles or bylaws may establish criteria or procedures for the admission of members. Subparagraph B, no person may be admitted as a member without his consent. Period. Pretty cut and dry. Let's go to point 5. The Ashford Subdivision Homeowners Association was established on the 24th of May of 2012 as this shows. I copied this straight from the Secretary of State's website here in South Carolina and posted it right here. Let's go to point 6. The South Carolina Code in Title 27, which has to do with the Residential Property Condition Disclosure Act, says this in Section 27-50-40. Disclosure statements, contents, owner options. Subparagraph 5 of that section says the zoning laws, restrictive covenants, building codes, and other land use restrictions affecting the real property, any encroachment of the real property from or to adjacent real property, and notice from a governmental agency affecting this real property. Now, these are things that must be included in the disclosure statement according to this law. And that takes us to point 7. There was no mention of any covenant restrictions, HOA, POA, or any other kind of A, in the disclosure statements provided in writing at the time I purchased the property. Therefore, due to the undeniable facts presented in points 1 through 7, I petition the court to summarily reverse the ruling that I legally owe the Ashford Homeowners Association anything, and that all monies paid by me under duress of losing my home, including the respondent's legal fees and my legal fees of $250 for submitting this appeal, be returned to me forthwith. Thank you guys for watching. Part 4 will be a video on the activities of the appellate court as we move forward. Have a great day.